Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
That's the last time you're going to hear that intro. We're having Alise record a new one because we have a little change coming. Next episode that comes out, it will be ad-free on Patreon, patreon.com/NOTLP. But we'll be experimenting with running ads here to kind of make ends meet in the NOTLP household.
Meat.
So patrons, you'll still get it for ad-free and all the other goodies.
You're still getting it, baby. Don't worry.
You're getting it good.
And you're still the ones who really are keeping this running. That's just kind of short up the little differences.
So we're selling out, so that's cool. Patreon.com/NOTLP if you don't want us
to. That's okay, because I can sleep well on my Casper mattress.
Right?
We don't even know like what it's going to look like
after
yet.
a hearty meal from HelloFresh.
Yeah, well, we don't know what they're going to be, but if I put on my glasses by Warby Parker.
How fast can you get those, Kelley?
I can get those today.
Oh my God. So fast.
That way he can see better to slice the garlic that came in his blue apron into razor thin little sheets, just like in Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. Anywho, that's just housekeeping stuff. Monkey's Paw. We're keeping up. Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful, everybody.
Yeah, Monkey Paws is out there getting up in everybody's business.
Pauses.
You might wish for a movie that's slightly better and even if a little longer, but you might wish for a movie that's short and then it turns out to be not as interesting.
Yeah. So originally we were going to do the 1933 Monkey's Paw, I think, but that is considered a lost film, and I think it's still lost because I couldn't find it.
Yeah. I wish it back.
And 1940. So we went with the 1948, which you can only watch on Daily Motion, which is like
no, we watched it. We rented it.
You did?
Yeah.
We spent
where'd
money
you
on
find
that.
it?
I just looked it up on Apple TV search.
Really?
Or no, on Amazon Prime search.
And it was the 1948 one?
Yeah.
Was yours really overexposed and bright? Like the contrast was terrible.
Well, I mean, it looked like it was from 1933, but
Wait, which one did you watch?
1948.
48. Oh, okay.
But I put that down to it being British.
Yeah. It didn't. I mean, yeah, we watched kind of a shitty version of it, but I honestly, it's an old ass movie.
Right, and I just assumed it was
expectation.
not. I can't believe I could have just rented this and probably not been squinting the whole time.
I don't think you missed much.
Yeah,
You didn't miss much.
So you also watched
Yes,
it
I watched
on
the Daily Motion one.
you watched the Daily Motion
But
one.
I watched it
believe
on my
Daily Motion still
phone, so I
exists.
think it was more compressed.
Yeah, it probably looked better than it did on a big screen. Anywho, long story short, that's like the second film adaptation they did of Monkey's Paw.
Yeah.
And that was from Butcher's Services.
In this case, it was short story long.
Butcher Empire.
Wasn't that weird? Like, we were like, Butcher's Services. Like, is film like one thing and they deal in meat the rest of the time?
I mean, it was the 40s.
Because that's the sort of thing you would expect.
Maybe it was their name.
It could be their last name.
Could have been their last name.
It was hard to understand through the thick accents.
Through the mists of time.
So
This was before closed captions, and that's what I need to watch movies nowadays.
Well, at least it definitely didn't have it on Daily Motion. It probably did on the one that you rented, Kelley.
Oh my God! And we could have
had closed captions.
Oh.
But anywho, we'll get all that.
You guys watch the ones with the corner, like they kept talking with the little Irish guy that looked like a leprechaun fella?
Yeah, sound
the
like
drunk
one too.
guy?
Yeah.
Who kept...
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
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 that I didn't watch a different version than you guys.
I mean, it wouldn't matter. Really, it's the same story. Even if you did, it would be just interesting to be like, oh, that's the part when blank happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in this one, there was a magic whistle.
Yeah.
And then yours had a donkey in it.
It did, and it hee-hawed all the day.
I was looking on Hoopla, which is a great app.
What's all the hoopla about?
If you're in the U.S. and you have a city library, and they should all be on Hoopla. Get on Hoopla. You can get comics and audiobooks and books and movies and music. But anyway, I was on there to see if they had the original story. And they do, but they also have an audiobook of Doug Bradley reading The Monkey's Paw, which I've not listened to yet, but I am excited to see exists.
He's a great narrator.
Yeah.
He does a lot of that sort of work, and it's all awesome.
Top notch. Tip top dude.
So,
5-star man.
Yeah.
He is a 5-star man. He's a good man. He's a sweet man.
He's not like Dennis Reynolds, though.
No, Dennis Reynolds isn't really a 5-star man. Remember, he was rated at 0.
Right.
Andy's going to review a movie. What was it called again, Andy?
Play Dead.
Play Dead. That's right.
Plated.
No doubt about a dog.
That's a TV show about cooking.
Plated.
Playted. Playted.
Plated.
So that'll be roulette. Mm-hmm. We had a meetup. That was a good time.
Which one? Are you talking about the Thursday night meetup or the midsummer?
We had a Thursday night meetup where we had decided, because Bill's birthday.
It was his birthday, and he's like, you know what would be cool? Let's watch a movie together. So then we watched Midsummer.
That was his
on
birthday
Saturday.
wish. His birthday monkey's paw wish.
To hang out with us.
And the twist was he had to listen to us while he tried to watch Midsummer.
This is the first time I've rewatched Midsummer from when I saw it in the theater.
How was your experience?
Like,
was it mid?
No, I think I paid more attention to how the boyfriend Christian, like, we know he's a dick, but like at first he's not. You're kind of like you just don't want to be in this relationship anymore, and then he like gets more dicker and dickery.
Yeah.
Talk. But I paid more attention to how like his character arc, because I'm like, maybe I was too hard on him.
No.
But no, it gets real bad.
Here's the thing. I don't see it as his feminist you go girl story.
No, I don't see it
No,
as
I
that
don't either.
Like, I feel
I don't like the way she behaved.
I feel they were both culpable in this relationship.
Yes.
He was a dick, yes, but girl, see the sign. He is throwing giant red flags at you.
Girl, read the room. Also, communicate your needs better, because you're not even doing that. You're expecting him to read your mind. And yeah, like if you think you're anyway. So I was like, surprised this time around how kind of like pissed off she made me.
I really want to watch it again. As much as like I loved watching it with a group, and it's really fun because when we use the Discord, the chat comes up on the screen, so it's like having pop-up video where we're all talking about the movie. I love Discord. It's awesome. But it just made me, I love that movie. I know I really love it now that I've seen it twice, where I thought it wasn't just because of the newness of it that first time, and now I just really want to dig in hard. Like I feel like I didn't really love Hereditary until the third time I saw it, and I really, really like. I'm like, this is an always and forever movie. It's in the box with all the greats,
I'm curious what you think when you see Beau is Afraid.
Yeah, I've been meaning to sit down and watch. I've heard things that make me worried.
It's going to be mixed, but I can see you liking it.
Yeah.
But it's a very challenging movie. I liked it a lot.
See, the thing I found every other Ari Aster thing was very entertaining. So like what I heard, like the way I've heard Beau is Afraid, is it still like an entertaining
it's super
movie?
entertaining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good.
it's just challenging.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I like to be challenged. If if a movie can't hurt me,
Listen, man, it starts going into long division. You're going to have to actually do that. And I know you said that it's not a strength.
And if I throw a movie really hard
it's very challenging.
It hurts you real bad.
I like to pluck at a string you just threw out, Freddie, where you said a movie can't hurt me, because I feel like that is not true.
That is true.
No,
me. I mean, a movie can't hurt you. I mean,
yeah,
emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading an article the other day about like, why do people want to rewatch the same stuff over and over again? You know, it's called comfort watching.
Right.
And it's a way of avoiding your feelings. And I was like, oh no, am I, because I'm not like rewatching stuff, but I'm for sure watching stuff from a familiar era, 90s, 80s, 70s stuff.
Yeah.
I was not alive in the 70s. I'm not making myself older. I just mean like it was, shut up.
You're discovering a lot of stuff that you didn't grow up with that we did.
But it's like all I want is that era.
Yeah.
I don't want to be confronted with like a post 9/11 world when I'm like entertaining myself.
So I assume you're not going to see Sound of Freedom.
Oh my God.
Amy, open your eyes at what's happening in the world.
Like the fucking Sound of Freedom bullshit.
Is this the QAnon movie?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
The Sound of Freedom movie. Now the like Barbie discourse from the right wing. I'm just disgusted.
Well, Freddie said a movie can't hurt you. Tell that to the right wingers. Barbie hurt them a lot.
It hurt them. Yeah. Movies are super powerful.
So did Cillian Murphy's penis. Don't forget that.
Oh, does he show his penis in Oppenheimer?
You get to see
spoiler, I didn't know that.
I think the entire cast of Oppenheimer is naked. From what I've heard, they're like, yeah, they're just naked.
And because we were talking about it at the meetup, I think Bill had seen it, and I was like, so how's the dong? He was hanging dong, right? And he's like, you don't really get to see it. Like he's sitting in a chair and he's shot in profile, so you can't see dick and balls.
Why are people upset that you can see his dick?
Oh, because men are weirdly obsessed with dicks, and it's just like all these men online like complaining about how you got to see guys' dick.
Oh, they're threatened. It's like it's gross to them or something.
They're like, if I could cut my dick off and throw it out a window with a fast-moving car,
you're not gonna take my dick though. Yeah,
is having a dick gay?
Dudes are weirdly obsessed with dicks. Like Alise was talking about.
I'm weirdly obsessed with dicks because I just want to see what they look like.
I know that's not what I mean. Like, I mean, they have like these
an aversion. Most like also it's a homophobic.
Well, it's also
thing.
Or I don't even know if it might go deeper than that. It's like this weird. Alise was saying like she's on all these art. She's in all. Well, she wasn't saying it. She is in all these like sort of art groups online, and people will post, paintings and nudes. And whenever there is nudes of men, there are all these dudes like first of all saying, "Why is his dong? It would be better if his dong wasn't as small. Well, it's a pretty small member. This painter got everything right except for how small the guy's dick is. It's pretty small.
So when guys see dicks, they're mad at it for seeing it, but then when they see it, they're mad that there's too small.
Well,
I hate it, but I want more of it.
It's like they're trying to say,
like the Three Bears?
It's sort of like the.
They're trying to say that their dick is bigger.
Yeah, like that looks real small compared to what I'm carrying around here, but I don't even want to see it.
It's like the Three Bears with them. That dick is just right.
Yeah, it's. I don't understand it.
People call the penis ugly. Like other people will say the penis is ugly or whatever. I think it's great. I love my penis.
I have changed my thinking because I used to be like, ew, penis. And now I'm like, no, it's actually really cool. I kind of like looking at them when they're not like weird.
Well, I like look at them in context.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see like dicks hanging out all the time.
It's just a weird. It's just a weird reaction to have to a movie about the Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
Which is something like again, at least kind of
What
said, like this is what they took away.
They did
from,
the same thing with
a movie about the atomic bomb.
They were upset about Game of Thrones about all the dick showing too, weren't they?
Probably.
They weren't upset about all the
incest.
the vag and boobs.
They're gonna hate the Righteous Gemstones. You get a whole lot of penis on that show.
Whole lot of penis.
Whole lot of penis.
What we should be talking about is just the horrific thing that was the atomic bomb and what we did as a country. It was horrific. It's horrific. It didn't need to happen. It did not need to happen.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more fun to talk about dicks, which I don't disagree with.
It is more fun. It's just the negativity.
Yeah.
Does Ken have a dick in Barbie? Is he like the doll?
No, they're all smooth down there. They talk about it. I watched it today, actually.
Oh, what'd you think?
It was cute.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it anti-man? As somebody told me they heard it was.
Well, I'm coming from a different perspective because obviously I'm not gonna look for anti-man stuff. But they do confront like toxic masculinity and the patriarchy in this. So I guess
we talk about those things.
I guess those are buzzwords that just get the right wing on in their hackles up. But it was good. It was really good. I think it swung too hard. It didn't necessarily hit a home run, but I appreciate Greta Gerwig going for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm doing my Barbenheimer weekend. No, my week.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah,
It's not
Your
weekend.
Barbenheimer period of
Weekday,
time.
Yes, I'm going to see Oppenheimer tomorrow, so I'm going to.
We have a date.
I'm going to dole out my Barbenheimer between 2 days because that's a lot of movies.
How
is.
long?
And that's two sides of the spectrum.
You want to take the day off and come to Oppenheimer tomorrow?
Nah.
Now it's got dick in it. He doesn't want to see.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm
no.
not gonna. I was gonna see it till I heard about
Then
that.
you heard about that dick.
That's all you see for the 3 hours. It's weird. It's cool that people saw both movies in one day, but that's just too much for me.
Well, yeah, Oppenheimer's like over 3, right?
Barbie is like 2.5, maybe.
Oh, fuck off.
It's a lot of Barbie.
What? We gotta rein this shit in. I can't. If your movie is gonna be 3 hours, it has to be 2 movies. How long is Mission Impossible that they're splitting into 2?
Yeah,
you know what? Fuck Tom Cruise, but that's a good idea.
I can't wait to see Mission Impossible with you.
Something else just came out that I was looking forward to.
I
And I was like,
whispered it.
when did this come out? Everything's just coming out all of a sudden.
New Exorcist is coming out. David Gordon Green.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just heard about it today. I had no idea.
Well, they're not allowed to promote. So that's maybe why we haven't heard of
Oh,
things.
Are we
Good point.
are we scabs right now by promoting movies?
We're not in
we're
the
not-
union.
We're not really promoting anything.
We should be in solidarity though, right?
No, I don't. I think we do here has no
Okay.
impact
Yeah.
on any of it.
We're not going to convince the CEOs to step down.
No,
and
we are
cave
not
in.
what you call an interested party.
If anything,
Or
we
influential.
are
Right.
encouraging people to watch movies, which then makes money for the studios. So then they are like, maybe this is something that we should pay for. I fixed it.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you want to move on to the roulette? Let's spin the old Boxerino.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, Dad. Mom wants to know if you're coming home tonight.
Oh no, honey. Daddy's working. What is going on? Oh, there she is. Isn't safe?
The coroner. He's keeping people alive and selling their organs.
I do not like uninvited guests.
You are a sick man.
I'm not sick. I'm the cure.
I need to get you the hell out of here. We need to go. My turn now.
Hi.
Did you put your tube top on for your Tubi movie, Andy?
Did you?
Yes, I did. Like I said,
then you-
and nothing else.
Then you laid down and played dead, like your movie.
Okay, I was pleasantly surprised by this.
Oh.
It didn't start off great.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get this out the way. I think you picked this because of Jerry O'Connor.
Well,
right?
sure. Yeah.
Miscast,
Oh.
but I appreciate that he goes for it.
Oh, he did.
Nice.
Like he just has this inherent charm about him that is he can't overcome it and play a threatening villain character. I was never scared by him at all. I don't know if that was the intent. Maybe they were going for something else, but I just don't see him as a villain at all.
I get that.
Like he's just too adorable.
There's been a couple of moments on Sliders where he's giving me the creeps.
Like I think he has,
but it's usually when he's like whispering in someone's ear seductively. Like there's like some weird.
When they make him sexual, you're like, nah.
Well, it's when he was kind of like, yeah, there was things that were awkwardly sexual stuff that plays really funny now. But I'm a big fan of Jerry.
Yeah, I think he has
He's
villainous eyebrows because he come to a point almost.
Oh.
And I think he has some good face acting in this movie, but when he opens his mouth and tries to do these like villain speeches, it just doesn't work. Because
do you laugh?
I didn't laugh, but I wasn't convinced.
Gotcha.
He's just too adorable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And he's like, he can't be bad. I want to fuck him.
Like I feel bad because I don't want to fuck him either because
he's too sweet.
Yes, he's like asexual to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a golden retriever.
Yeah.
In human form.
Yeah. I've never wanted to fuck a golden retriever.
I didn't want to fuck a golden retriever. Like, I just kidding. Okay. But like I feel like if they made Guardians during his heyday, he would have been like a good Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, I can see that for sure.
And he has like a Pratt and Ryan Reynolds energy about him. And it's hard for them to overcome their inherent charm.
Yeah.
But like he really
the boy next door thing.
Yeah, he really went for it though. I really appreciate him trying to go for something else that he's like not known for.
His co-star has been on this podcast and in an article that I wrote for Horrorhound, Bailey Madison.
She was really good too. Unfortunately, she's blessed with the most bland name in history.
Yeah.
Bailey Madison,
or a porny name.
Yeah.
Did you know that Ryan Reynolds supposedly is doing an Alf revival?
No.
Is he playing Alf?
Hopefully more on that.
I don't think so.
Is he playing Mrs. Achmonic?
I hope he's playing Willie.
I think so.
Just like, just an anti-Ryan Reynolds part.
Alf, what are you doing? Anyway,
Ryan Reynolds plays annoyed very well. I think he can pull it off. Yeah,
he could do it. Oh, Andy, and the reason Bailey Madison was
Madison Bailey. It could be either one. I don't know. It's just a bland name. I'm sorry. She was really good in this role.
She was in Strangers Pray at Night. I don't think I actually said that out loud.
Yeah, you're a co-star.
Yeah.
In Strangers Pray. Good for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was great in that too.
Yeah. So, at first I wasn't on board with this movie because the premise to me was just so silly. Her brother, they're having financial troubles.
Sure.
So to help with the get money, her brother takes place in a robbery, but it doesn't go right, and his accomplice gets killed and taken to the morgue.
Ooh.
But the brother gets away, but he's going to be implicated because they have his phone, and they were talking about the robbery through text.
Oh,
don't do that,
dummy.
Yeah. So to get her brother off the hook, she has to sneak into the morgue and get the phone so he won't be implicated. And she does this by taking these drugs that make you seem like you're dead.
This feels like a your brother problem and not you problem.
That's a very contrived way to get into them.
There's a backstory of how
it's fine.
She's the only one left. He's the only left family that she has left, and she made a promise that she's going to take care of him and watch out for her brother.
I swear to God.
Even if I have to fake my own death.
Yes. It was so convoluted, and I don't think that can work.
It's kind of hilarious. I like these grand, like where they skip steps B through like X, and they're all the way down to like Y and Z of options, and that's the first thing they do.
But it does kind of make sense of why she needs to do it, but just the way that she goes about it.
Yeah,
I know you have to suspend your disbelief in horror movies, but this was a bridge a little too far for me. But they eventually pulled me back in.
Yeah.
So it's that classic story, like the criminals breaking in somewhere, but it's not what it seems. You know, there's some shady stuff going on.
It's like Don't Breathe.
Yeah. Or like they break into a house that has supposed jewels in it, but it turns out to be haunted or something.
People under the stairs.
Yeah. So turns out the coroner is selling body parts on the black market, which is actually a good idea.
Yeah.
And he was like, make a note.
But what is he selling?
Just like
Body
livers
parts.
and like
But
kidneys.
people are dead. They've been dead. Can
Well,
you take a liver out of
No,
somebody?
but
who's
he
been dead
does
for-
it like right away as soon as they come in.
Yeah, but what if you've been all right?
I don't know. Or
fresh.
Amy's thinking like too deeply about
I
it.
don't want your 2-hour-old dead liver.
Well, there are also probably people who would buy real just body parts
Yeah.
off of a black market just to be a weird.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird.
yeah, any doctors out there? Is that how it works?
Scratch and dent.
If
How
we have any
old can
transplant surgeons listening, I need to know.
So it's that classic thing where like they both like he knows that she's in there, but he can't call for help because he'll implicate himself. So they're in a stalemate, and they have to she has to get out, and he has to track her down.
Cat mouse.
So it makes sense of why like they can't just call the cops since either one of them.
Wait. You say who's he? Who
Jerry O'Connell. He's the
Jerry
co-
O'Connell
the coroner.
is the coroner.
Yeah, that's selling body parts, and
Okay.
he figures out that she's in there and poking around.
So she's seen too much as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
It's that classic too.
Yeah.
It's like I slipped in, now I've seen too much. Now you must die.
So
Slipped in.
it is like I
Just
said, it's
slipped right
that
in
classic setup where it's like a stalemate in the game of chicken where they can't really call for help, so they have to figure it out on their own. And it's like a cat and mouse game, The acting, like Kelley's movie last week, he said the best part was the acting.
Yeah.
This is like this movie too.
Yeah.
And it shows the importance of how you need likable characters.
Good job, Tubi. Same. Yeah, I would say the same for my movie, or characters that are not likable specifically.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they're like they're criminals, but they're also they're still likable though. They're like, ugh, I don't
Yeah.
care who wins in this match. At times you kind of root for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
sometimes.
But I would say it needs some editing. It was an hour 46 minutes. There's some storylines that don't go anywhere that were unnecessary. And a story as simple as this doesn't need to be an hour 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
It feels like they're stretching.
Speaking of Tubi movies, make sure you check out Cabin Girl if you haven't and review it on IMDb. That's our buddy John's movie. We're biased, but we liked it quite a bit. Especially the final version was awesome.
So good for Tubi. Like with
Yeah.
Kelley's movie and this movie, they're doing some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
there.
Tubi.
Tubi.
Yeah.
it's
So for me, it's a recommend. I can see why people won't like this because it's a silly goose movie.
Well, yeah, but I love a silly goose.
It's like,
movie.
you movie, you're so silly. But there's actually some really good like horror parts in this.
Yeah.
You could tell that there's like real low budget. There were some of the autopsy scenes look like Party City
Yeah.
or Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween.
You know,
That's funny.
They spent all their money on Jerry O'Connell.
and Bailey Madison Bailey.
Bailey Mass. You're going to get me getting it wrong now. Reprogram my brain.
She's a good actress. You just need a more memorable name.
Yeah, I remembered it just fine, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
See?
you're.
This is
you
Andy's
interviewed
advice
her.
to actresses.
Andy's like, it's because you're white.
The name.
She's kind of a bland.
The name is very
Wait,
very
like,
Okay,
let's
let's leave it
basic,
alone.
right?
She looks kind of bland too, but
help what her name
she
is.
elevates it by her acting ability.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to have a kind of forgettable name
Yes.
if you're a good actor. Otherwise, you go right in the trash.
But you can do bigger things if you have a more memorable name, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you think like 30%?
Like if her name
'Cause
was
she-
like Zendaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, she blends in with any other like Disney Channel actress that came up or anything. But she needs a name to set her apart.
What about Plutarch Explosives?
I would remember that.
You definitely wouldn't forget it.
No.
Yeah. Amy, you want to tell us what the movie is going to be? I picked this one for our next roulette movie.
Oh.
I gave Freddie the chore.
I feel proud.
Aw.
I never get to choose.
It's
was very exciting.
Netflix movie. It's called Run Rabbit Run.
Run, rabbit.
Does not appear to be based on the rabbit books.
Run.
In this unsettling psychological thriller, a divorced mother becomes increasingly alarmed by her young daughter's strange behavior. Starring Sarah Snook, whom Freddie loves.
No, she's Succession.
Yeah, and Predestination.
Predestination.
You remember that
Yeah.
shit? That movie was wild.
Bonkers.
She is
Every once in a while, I think
great
about it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that movie.
I was telling, I think, Colin about that not that long ago.
I'd like to watch that again. That was really brilliant.
It was crazy good.
Yeah. Here we go, y'all.
We're spinning the box.
Let's see who's
And then
gonna
a
see Snook.
Boxerino
The Boxerino.
to see who sees Snook. Snooky.
It's me.
It's Amy, but Freddie's gonna probably watch it with her.
a mini Amy.
Yeah, I want to see this movie, so
Can't let me have something for myself.
You got snookered.
I'll try to keep my mouth shut though.
Yeah, right.
I'll do my best. We don't have. There's no trailer, but I figure we could make a trailer for the Monkey's Paw right now.
Okay.
You don't want that. That's a monkey's paw.
Hold on. In a world where an antique store has a monkey's paw,
You know, it could have been a Friday the 13th, the series episode.
and a guy gets a monkey's paw and he needs money.
Don't open the door. Don't open the door.
I'm not doing this.
1948.
Yeah.
1948 Butcher's Services. So they're like, we will give you can get 10 strip steaks, 4 fillets, 2 pounds of ground beef, in the monkey's paw.
In the Monkey's Paw movie.
The movie.
Yeah, you don't get a monkey's paw.
I'm still confused at how this family got the paw in the first place.
Oh, he traded it for the picture.
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay, I was.
There's an American picker kind of character who is the guy who runs
The British American picker.
Yeah, the British American picker. The Antiques Roadshow comes through.
I don't rightly know, Gov. I don't care about none of this shit.
So that guy is kind of he's the thread that goes through all the stories. But he gets it in a trade, I think, in the beginning. And then it just gets traded because he has heard they have great artwork.
This family, right?
Right.
Okay.
This family.
The Lafune, what were they called?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
The
either.
two rooms?
Okay, I understand.
Oh, yeah, they had a name.
And I was also confused about that bickering couple. Who were they and why were they? What did they have to do with the movie?
You mean the couple that is the movie?
Not the one that died. It was like they were. She was dressed nice, and they were. The guy who had like a suit on, and it was like they were just sniping at each other. It was like, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh yeah,
They were visiting the rich guy's house.
Yeah. Wait.
And
Or
then
am I mixing another movie?
and
in
then
here?
she made a wish, apparently, right?
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that was the flashback.
That's the flashback.
Oh, the drunk.
that's
That was
the flashback.
Yeah, 'cause
The drunk,
The
yeah.
drunk. The buddy who's hanging out with the couple. God, we made this more confusing than it ever needed
It
to be.
doesn't need to be.
He's hanging out with them. He's like, you don't want to fuck with a monkey's paw, and here's why. The flashback goes back that he saw that happen.
Okay, but what
Tree lawn.
I didn't see them make a ironic wish, did they?
Well, that lady, you don't have to make an ironic wish. You just have to make a wish.
The implication is that she held the monkey's paw and was like, I wish my husband would fucking shut the fuck up.
That was it.
And that was the implication because she wanted to bang that guy and she really wished her husband would pass out.
Yeah.
Okay, I think watching it on my phone was a mistake then
Yeah.
because
And then the guy stormed out and left. And then you get
No,
back.
he shot.
okay, so there's like time jumps, right?
He shot.
Not time jumps, but
there was that
like-
one flashback.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
He didn't storm out. I mean, like he shot. One guy shot the lady. The husband shot the lady, his wife,
Yeah.
in the flashback.
Remember he pulled out a gun. He's like, "Take this, you hussy."
I remember.
She's probably like, I don't want to be married to my husband anymore. And they're like, well, then we'll kill you.
It was just a lot of talking in this movie without
There's a lot of talking.
There wasn't a lot happening.
I couldn't understand a lot that was being
Yeah,
said. And there was a lot of bright lights.
It was like very melodramatic, which fits the era.
Well,
I guess.
it wouldn't have been much better because it wasn't very bright on
Yeah.
mine. It was sort of dark and grainy.
It looked like I was like reading somebody's waterlogged copy of Sin City where all the ink had bled together.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. If you could imagine all that black smear. So it was so kind of incoherent. I think part of the confusion I'm having now is that I was like, oh, there's the old Alfred Hitchcock Hour episode where they did this. They remade the Monkey's Paw.
Yeah.
Also as
and
an hour
also,
long.
this is not just the story about a monkey's paw where you make 3 wishes and somebody comes back to life. It's hard to make a whole movie out of this.
Well, it's a very short story. The whole story basically gets shoved into the last like 5 minutes of the movie, and the rest of it is just sort of build up.
It's just family drama.
He wants to buy a motorcycle for 200 pounds.
Yeah,
the number 200 pounds. It's so important to the story too, because it's exactly. I love how it's never more or less than exactly what they need to get out of the jam they're in, no matter who tells the story.
Yeah.
Like it's like they make a point to be like, they're not greedy people. They just want the situation to go back to zero.
Yeah.
But this short, it makes a perfect part of an anthology. It's hard to make anything longer than a half hour at most.
Well, you get so much of his racing career as part of him.
Like Tom, I don't give a fuck about Tom's fucking and Beryl.
He's kind of a bonehead.
Your girlfriend's name is Beryl? I mean, even in 1948, that was sad. This was like 3 years post-war, right? That's kind of crazy. It was if I watched the movie like that.
But do we?
And I thought about it being very historical.
But we don't know what time period this movie took place in.
Well, she did say to the kid,
he came back from the war.
He came back from the war. It could have been
one
or two. Thinking about the fact that the people in this movie have lived through 2 world wars, and then how the mother is so doting on the son and like forgiving of her gambling motherfucker husband. If I watched it through that historical lens, it was fascinating. But other than that, it was pretty boring.
But it does make sense of why she made that wish, because like they were constantly at risk of losing them, and like so you're going to hold on to your loved ones. That's harder.
Yeah, I think the Alfred Hitchcock episode was better.
Yeah. Was it actual hour?
Did you watch that?
Not yet.
Me and Amy watched it.
Was it an actual
minutes.
hour? So perfect.
Yeah, and it actually. It's an all-star cast. It's Angel from Rockford Files, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spock's mom is in it.
Oh.
Lee Majors is in it.
Oh, the $6 Million Man.
And for the ladies, Leaf.
Who are all those
what's
people
his
for?
nuts?
Leif Garrett.
Leif Garrett.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Erickson. You're that famous pirate, that famous Viking.
Leif Erickson.
Yeah, and a lady from Cincinnati.
And a lady from Cincinnati.
Throwing a lady from Cincinnati, you got yourself a deal.
Woo.
Yeah.
All I need to hear.
If you are going to watch one or the other, if you have an hour to blow on The Monkey's Paw, definitely go for Alfred Hitchcock Hour Season 3, Episode 26, I believe.
Well, I'm curious about the 1933 version.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we can track it down one of these days. If you're listening to this and you're like, that's not a lost film, I have it right here.
I bet it's worse.
You think it's going to be worse? It was RKO. Does that affect your expectations at all?
It doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt me expectations.
It has Triffids.
Yeah.
That spit poison and kill in it.
They sure do.
Is it Triffids?
Triffids.
Yeah. Sometimes I worry that I stroked out and a word's like Triffids comes out.
or Boxerino.
or Boxerino at the beginning. Yeah, that's just involuntary word jumbles.
This drunk man he could just be like that.
The leprechaun?
The leprechaun.
That man looked like when they designed cartoon leprechauns.
Yeah.
This was their model.
He was kind of lovable.
Oh, he was lovable. I loved him.
He was probably the best part of the movie.
So
he was the best part of the movie.
He just helps himself to their home anytime he wants. The Trelawneys or whatever Trelawn's.
He's like the wacky neighbor character.
He's the Kramer.
Yeah. John Kelley. Kelley is his last name. I can't remember.
Yeah.
When you say he's the Kramer, I just heard
because he's got crazy hair.
He was the same in this flashback. He was over hanging out at the.
He just walks in.
Or no, he was peeping Tom and all those people.
He's gonna rob him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's not a good, upstanding member of society, but they seem to like him.
I just heard the Seinfeld bass line the minute you said that, and it made it so much funny. Yeah. Throughout the entire Monkey's Paw, 48, like every time there's a scene transition, they just add in that bass line.
The mouth pops.
Yeah.
God damn! I'm sorry if I had a monkey's paw. I wish
that Elsa would stop farting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They smell like
They haven't
eggs.
made it to me yet.
I don't want to break
You're
the
so
fourth
lucky.
wall, but it's distracting.
So I'm talking first lately. I don't know what her deal is. The question I had was our leprechaun, was the implication at the end that he was like hyping up the monkey's paw to get them to use it so he could get it back or something?
I think he was somehow.
No, because he was giving
reselling
it back
it,
to the
right?
dude that gave it to the guy from the beginning.
Yeah, it made it back to the original guy.
Yeah, and they were like laughing and smiling at each other, like. Well, that's what I heard.
Oh, so
I think
it's a scam?
It
I
felt.
think it might be a scam.
Yeah, it kind of got that vibe too.
Well, I do think there's implication that it was all a coincidence.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not the implication, but the possibility.
The implication.
It's the implication.
So the kid dies because they wish for the 200 pounds they need. They think the kid dies because of that. The mom wishes the kid to come back alive. She swears he's coming. He's walking back from the cemetery. She's trying to get the door open. Dad's like, that's not gonna be cool. So he wishes, nah, just make him dead. And then when she gets the door open, there's no one there. He
Great
tells
ending.
her
That was just a coincidence.
it's all just a coincidence.
I thought that was kind of touching, the end where he.
So she could be
Yeah.
absolved.
Yeah, so she wouldn't feel guilt
He
about.
took the bullet
yeah,
for her,
and he
kind
has
of.
to live with that secret,
Right. Because he knows he wished him dead, whether it's
Yeah.
true or not.
and he
Right.
knows. I think it's not a. I think that son actually did come back.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it works either way.
Yeah.
It works as one of the greatest horror stories. That is just a creepy ass ending, man.
Oh, for sure. We read that in school. I don't know, 6th or 7th grade. I remember thinking, God damn, that's a good.
I
good
would
short
say
story.
the end. Like I said, the end was very effective because it's like he's racing to find. He dropped the monkey's paw and he can't find it.
Yeah.
and he has
Oh,
to
yeah.
find it before his wife opens the door and sees the mangled body of her dead son. And it's like a race against the clock, and he eventually does find it and wishes him back to the grave. And I thought that was tension filled.
It was. That was the
was.
best. The whole movie, the whole
Yes.
meat of it was packed in those last few minutes.
I'm really curious what you guys will think of the Alfred Hitchcock one, because it's like 20 years later at 65.
Yeah.
When they made that. And it's like they're at this place in the Caribbean, like it's this kind of sprawling mansion, and it's Lee Majors is the son, the dad's Leif Garrett, and the
Wait, the dad's Leif Garrett?
No.
or I might be saying the wrong guy. Old gray hair. And then the mom is Spock's mom, and they're having like it's all of his racing
Not Lee
friends.
Van Cleef.
No, it's Leaf something, right? Anywho, we'll get to it. They're having a party with all these Star Trek actors that
Yeah.
you'll recognize from Star Trek are in this party downstairs, and they're kind of like beatniky hippie kids, and they're having like a culty thing going on, and there's a fortune teller there, like a gypsy fortune teller, and that's how they bring the monkey's paw into that story.
Yeah.
The son, Lee Majors, has fallen in with this kind of like hippie-esque, they seem culty kind of crowd.
Right.
But he races cars instead of motorcycles.
Leif
and that's
Erikson
the-
was the dad.
Leif Erikson.
There
It
was
was
guy
Leif
named Mark.
It was Leif
Erikson.
Erikson.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, Andy.
He's named after
Yeah.
the Viking.
You accidentally.
Yeah.
He's dead. He was in On the Waterfront. The Carpetbaggers.
good
Fantasy
actor.
Island. Oh, he was on the Rockford Files.
The Hitchcock thing is basically the same exact story. Some kid dies.
It's the same thing. They wish only he owes $150,000, which I looked up was like 1.3 million now or something crazy. And so the dad, wishes for that, and they get it, but it has this other element with the girlfriend, who's the girl from Cincinnati. The girlfriend character is really weird and intense, and like she's like, I want you to win. You're gonna race, and you're gonna go fast, and you're gonna win. It's kind of like that character, I
wanted to punch her in the face.
It was kind of great though. At the
So
same
does
time.
it end where they see the son comes back and they see the body?
No, it ends exactly the same as
Oh,
the
okay.
story always
Yeah.
ends. I've
there-
never
there-
read or seen a version where they.
I've
change
seen
that.
seen versions where the mother opens the door and
Yeah.
sees the body and she's like, ah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen
I was
that
gonna say
either.
Pet Cemetery is the only one I know of that where he changed so much. but having that moment where she comes into the kitchen. Actually, did that happen in the book, or is that just in the movie?
No, that is in the book. That's how the
Okay.
book ends, is when she comes in after she dies, and then he buries her, and then she comes. That's how the book ends.
Right, and it's a definitive. She is back.
Yeah,
from the dead thing. But I haven't seen the one you're talking about. That would have scared the poop right out of me as a kid.
Oh dear.
Because I'm terrified of it. This story is up there as far as like the creepy ass endings go. This is better than the hook on the door handle.
Wasn't there a version of this then on Buffy?
Oh yeah, her mom.
Her mom, and then I don't remember what was happening, but they never opened the door.
Dawn.
God, I can't remember.
I bet Fozzie.
I know Fozzie's
if he's listening to this, is
screaming.
freaking out.
Dawn was doing a spell in the morgue to bring her back, and she like was walking behind her, and then
I remember it was very creepy.
And then something happened to interrupt it.
Oh, okay.
And she but yeah, it was like Joyce like slowly getting up off the fucking table in the morgue. Like it was very creepy.
I feel like when I said it was very creepy, I sounded like a somebody dubbed my dialogue into English. I was speaking in another language before.
Very creepy.
It's very creepy. The episode of Buffy is very creepy.
Tommy, what's up? What's up?
I did that.
He should start a podcast called "What's Up with Wizzo."
What's up with Wizzo?
I hear that Riff Tracks Live is coming back to the theater to do the room again.
I feel like you didn't give me a round of applause. You didn't even laugh or
I thought it
acknowledge
was
how
a
fucking
Zalo.
funny that was.
Give me a round of applause.
Thank you.
You're constantly looking for validation.
Yeah. Aren't you?
No, I know I did a good job. I don't need y'all's input.
We were talking about selling out earlier because we were going to add ads, and Andy was like, "I'd take money to leave the podcast."
He's
I was like, "Bitch,
buy me out.
Terrible.
I'll be replaced with a corporate entity.
like, buy me out.
It's
Like,
like
with Chat
well, on the show this week is Freddie, Amy, Kelley, and Ronald McDonald.
We will have no
clown?
swearing this week.
Oh Lord,
No, Monkey's Paw.
heard of it?
So fun. Is next week the listener pick one, or I can't remember.
We'll have a special guest with us.
Yep, special guest.
I don't want to like influence your choice, but try not to pick the classic Monkey's Paw story.
Yeah, let's
Go
do
for
something different.
You know, along the lines of Death Becomes Her, where it's not wishing somebody from the dead.
Did you want to say who won on the show now, so that or you?
Yes, our special guest and winner will be Fozzie.
Oh.
Oh, did
Very
I tell
good.
him he had to pick the movie?
If you want an opportunity to pick one of our main attractions, just sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com, and we usually just randomly select someone from that list for each theme.
Mm-hmm.
But since we have a special guest, we're doing something special.
All right. Are we done
Yeah.
talking about the movie then?
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, there's not much to talk about.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
There
what it
wasn't
is.
much to the movie.
I liked
Pretty
the
basic.
mom.
Yeah, she was a very nice lady.
She had a nice face. She had a comforting face.
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't a bad movie. It was
It's just a movie.
a little too long.
I think too. Well, which
an
is
hour long.
it was an hour long. It was short, but it felt really long. And I think it was just a product of its time and its budget at the time. But it is a good movie.
All right. At the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs. Again, patreon.com/NOTLP to find out what that means. Alise.
I love you. I'll see you very soon.
Alyssa. I'll stop. Branan and Emily. Jeffel. Iona Goodwin.
I'm gonna make hamburger helper.
Dr. Brian. Bill. Happy birthday again, Bill. Bill Farner. Frosted Blakes. Blayne Yogurt. Jordache Jeans. Paul. Jeremy, Cassie, and Gamora.
No.
Ernie. Dave Siebert. And Monica.
And Dustin.
And Dustin. I gotta add you back to my list, dude.
Write him on there.
Y'all's good people.
Y'all's great people.
Just looking for baddies.
All right. We did it, you guys. Anything else we want to throw out into the world at the end?
No.
Yeah.
Stay cool, everybody.
Stay cool, baby.
Waves across the country.
Have a great summer. Stay cool.
Yeah. Don't ever change.